in this, so bear with me. And I should have went to the bathroom before I started. I was just thinking about it, but anyways, I don't even know what's going on with the chat here. If it's going to actually run the chat or what, I don't know. Interesting. Like I said, been a long time. I almost didn't get on here. I almost just deleted it and said, to heck with it. So I'll do that. There we go. Okay, so it says all the chat is visible. It's interesting because I ran across a post from someone else and it kind of just resonated because I actually was literally just watching some content with this individual in it from years ago with me, and I felt really compelled to just look at some old content, and I did, and I'm feeling very nostalgic today. I didn't expect for this live to be about anything nostalgic, but I've just been kind of in that energy, and I think it's because I've been doing a lot of releasing of. I've started this brand new practice that I do every night before I go to bed, and I call it the 3 L's. And the first one is what do I need to let go of? It's very difficult to bring the new that we so desire into our lives without letting go of what's already there if it's no longer fitting our lives energetically, which is a constant ebb and flow. So what do I need to let go of? And then I ponder my heart and I just make sure to go through everything that comes to me. And then the second L is what do I love? And this is about gratitude. It's about, I'm not sure how this is, I don't even know if I've got the chat up here or not. Hide all chat, top chats. Some messages such potential may not be visible. Okay. Well, I don't see any chat, so if anybody's in here, just chime in. It says that there's 2 people, but this is a totally different format. I'm used to using live stream, but I canceled my live stream some time ago. It's been months since I've done this. So anyway, so the second L is what do I love? And what that means is I look around me and I look into my heart and all the things that are part of my story that are still energetically drawn and connected that I'm so grateful for. So I stop and I ponder all the things that are in my auric field immediately that I love and just hold that frequency of gratitude for them. And then the third and final L is what do I long for? And what that L means is what would I like to see move into the space that I just let go of? What is it that I desire? What is the next thing in my heart? And so I'm not sure why today, but today I've just felt very nostalgic. So anyways, let me see if I can get, I don't know if I can comment on here or not, but yeah, I don't know. This is weird because I'm so used to using live stream that I don't even know how to do this on YouTube anymore. So used to be able to comment, and I don't see a way that I can comment now. Maybe is that how? Just like right there? I don't know. Interesting. It shows comments, so just lets me do a setting, but in live stream I can comment very easily. So if you're here, could you pop something into the chat and let me see if this thing is working? Because like I said, I'm not accustomed to just using YouTube anymore. I've been on YouTube by itself in ages and ages and ages. Anything I've been doing on YouTube has been through live stream, but it's just a waste of money because I am not I'm not putting myself forward anymore. Like I used to, so it just felt like it wasn't one of those things to let go, right? Like I was just saying. So, yeah, if you could just pop in an emoji, something like that, and maybe you have, and I'm not seeing it because the setup is, what's that? Oh, okay, these are like, okay. Those are filters. No, it's not that. Mute microphone, save and highlight. No. And then it shows my chat, live chat, all messages are visible. So anyways, I'm not going to be on here long probably, especially if I don't see any engagement with the dialogue, the chat, talking, making chats in the chat box. Um, so it shows that there's two people that are actually here. So if you could just pop something in the chat box. And if you already have and I'm not seeing it, well, it is what it is. I'll have to look at the live chat later, which really frustrates me because I would very, very much so like to interact with you, kind of touch base with how you're feeling. I think the nostalgia that I'm feeling today is two-part, and I keep getting this feeling in my heart that says, my heart still remains. And for me, what that means is that everything that I've experienced in the last 5 years, and yeah, I can't believe it's been 5 years since I left Canada. I look back at some of my old content and oh my goodness, has my consciousness elevated itself? It's two-part, like I said. It's just feeling the sense that everything has changed, but yet the frequency has not. And what I mean by that is I just feel this permanency to the vibration of who we all actually are. And I'm speaking to specific people that would know who they are because that's where nostalgia comes from, right? From things that we experience that are in the path behind us. They're the file folders that we can open and look at that only exist in our memory. They're not even, they don't have any other energy at all. The past holds nothing other than a memory card we can pull up and look at it and say, oh yeah, that did happen, I remember, and put it back, because it's really all it is. And then the future we can say, that could be interesting, I would like this and that and this, that's what I'd like to see, but it's not anything, has no weight to it yet. So anyways, the nostalgia is in part that my heart is still exactly the same. And a few weeks ago, as I've been processing, sometimes I feel the loss, because I don't know about you, but my journey has come such full circle that now I am back, operating in this matrix, this story that we're telling together collectively, going through this whole process of completely removing myself from this earth story and diving into places that were fully unknown to me, at least in the moment. It was just a matter of remembrance. Now I understand that it's always been within me. Back into taking that as above and bringing it into the below in a very defined and very, distinct way. And the way that my entire outer looks now is completely different. I have remembered that it is what I energetically focus on and the energy that I keep holding in my heart that creates my outer circumstance. It's the film that's running on the projector in here that puts the movie on the screen out there. And my life looks way different than it did 5 years ago. And in hindsight, I can look back and realize that's because that's what I was running on my inner movie at the time. So it did project out into the outer, and it was my reality. And I put energy into it, so it remained my reality until my higher self, Prime Creator, Source, Mother, Father, God, whatever it is that you call this beautiful and incredible consciousness, this oneness that we are all operating aspects of, gently and somewhat abruptly in some ways, and even painfully in some ways, lifted me up out of my unconscious creation enough to see that creation is a conscious thing, is a much more preferred way to do things. And I believe that even though many of us that started out on this journey together have been dispersed, I would say from my own perspective, I can't speak about yours, 99% of them don't even have any communication with each other anymore. But it is my heart today that's saying that nothing has been lost. Nothing has been taken. There's been no loss here. As human beings, it feels like loss. But I believe that we have made a profound impact on this story that we're all telling, co-creating as beautiful individuations of our Creator, in the form of our Creator, having experience in creating expansion for our Creator as our Creator, as humans having this experience. And I think this is a pivotal moment for me. You may be feeling that for yourself as well. I am on the precipice of entirely reinventing Earth character Shannon. Entirely. I have been given some very distinct information from different beloveds in my auric field. We call them our guides, we call them our angels, we call them many different things. I've always lovingly referred to every energy that's outside of me that's not incarnate as the sky crew, my sky crew. And I like that because basically what it means is it's everything energetically that's joining me in my journey but isn't incarnate. So that's why I say sky crew. I've had tons of information releasing me from previous storylines that led me to the storyline I'm in now. And so I've been given the green light and the encouragement and plus the joy in my heart to completely recreate myself, 100%, as if this is the go moment for me in this level of consciousness, because I'm fully, let's say, aware as I have been thus far, fully aware of how my conscious attention to what I feel in my kingdom is what's going to create the outer going forward. I was very unconscious before, as were all of us. Creating nonetheless, we will create regardless because we are aspects of Mother, Father, God, Source, Prime Creator. We are individuated living expressions, perfect holograms of that one consciousness, that one being. So we will create. You're going to create regardless of what you believe or think about it. And I've learned this within my own kingdom. And moving forward is about consciously, much more consciously creating. And it's been kind of a strange space to be in. Yesterday wasn't. The day before that was the last day of the Mayan calendar. And then they'd have this day that didn't exist, and then they would start the new galactic year, which is today. And this lines up with Pleiadian energy too. It was believed, at least from what I've discovered, that the Pleiadians were actually the beings that they've drawn all their pictures from, that came to them and gave them this calendar system. And it's very wonderful. I'm very intrigued by it. As a matter of fact, this year, which starts today, I'm going to start going with the motion of the frequency in the galactic calendar as opposed to looking at the days that the Gregorian calendar has made. Very different. It's not earmarked by numbers and hours and minutes and moments. It's earmarked by energies, emotions, energy in motions, love, releasing, moving forward, the energy of creation, that sort of thing. So today is the first day of the galactic year. It's the galactic new year today. Yesterday was the day out of time. It's a day which, but from the Mayans, from what they gathered and what they practiced, was a portal of no time at all. And so I think that's why today I feel the way that I do, because now I'm embarking on this journey where I'm going to be far more conscious of everything that I am feeling in my sacred heart center, so that the creations that come forward out of my creative circle, my auric field, will be much more densely conscious than the prior story I was telling. And it's landed me in a place that's very unusual and uncomfortable. Yesterday I was talking to a friend and we did a little TikTok live and we discussed it a little bit. It feels very alien. I actually have an energetic feeling of comfort and remembrance of it, but as an earth character, no memory of this at all. So this is a very different feeling. And it has landed me in a position that feels unlike what I felt before, because I was constantly in masculine energy moving forward and creating and doing since the day I was born. And this, I believe, is been the case of all incarnates, whether they're masculine or feminine, in incarnate, man or woman. But I think it heavily resonates with divine feminines. We have just been operating in masculine energy for eons. And I know that just looking in my own story, that's all I've done. It's been constantly on the chase to create and to manipulate things in my life and to move things forward and to come up with ideas and then incorporate them in order to attain this that I desired. But what it was that I desired underneath all of it was this thing that I found that's in myself, and I've never needed to be chasing it or looking for it. So it's this remembrance of the I am, and that I am love. I'm not just loved, I am love. And now that I live in that space, incredible amount of peace, but an incredible amount of solitude, and nothing really seemingly going on in the outer, because I am no longer in a masculine energy where I'm seeking in the outside to create things happening. I'm resting on the inside in energies that I prefer, in energies that spell out who I am more genuinely, love, peace, hope, and joy, and just sitting in my throne without moving myself, and just being patient and waiting for those things to be drawn to me. That's hence the letting go, the loving, and then what do I long for? So it's a very alien space, and I'm only reaching out because I suspect that many of you are probably finding yourself in this space as well. Another thing that has shifted largely for me is a movement from this Earth story to a galactic story, a story from all the other dimensions and universes, planets, if you will, beings, if you will, that are involved in this very multiverse, multi-dimensional story that we're telling as a collective, are starting to come into my auric field. And that may be what this is all about. And this simple stillness is for me to make a deeper and more profound connection with those beings that are not specifically focused on this earth the way that we are as the humans having these experiences. I noticed on Twitter yesterday that Naughty Beaver posted a picture. I've been seeing these ship spaces in the sky again. When I first came to Arizona, I saw them lots, and then they just kind of dissipated as I went through this transformation that I just went through. But I'm beginning to see them again, and I'm beginning to get information that's far more powerfully clairvoyant and personal and clear within my own sacred heart center of communication coming from these non-incarnate beings. Not that they're non-incarnate, they may have incarnated in another dimension, but they will be joining us here in this earth story and actually becoming tangible. And the reason why, I made a TikTok about this as well, it is my belief anyways, is that all this work, and see, I started out saying everything we've done together, even though it seems like everything is lost and we're all scattered to the wind, and these original connections just aren't connections anymore, which energetically this is, they boomerang out and they boomerang back sometimes. All of us could boomerang back around to one another. Once again, if you're in the room, I don't know, maybe if I turn the camera, maybe that'll work. I don't know if that's what it is. Rotate device, it says rotate device, so let's see. Nope, that didn't do any good. I'm just wondering why I can't see the chat. I haven't used YouTube in a long time. I've only used StreamYard, and I don't see any chat at all. So if you're in the room, just pop in a hi, a little wavy hand, an emoji, something. I've asked this before, and nothing's come up, so it's probably just because I can't see it in this format. I haven't done this on YouTube in a long time. So anyways. Oh! There is Silverwings, thank you. There is a chat. I appreciate you. I thought I was doing something wrong. Been forever since I've been on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. So, I just wanted to reach out because this is still my heart. Like I said in that comment that I made on someone else's post that they made, it is still my heart. My heart remains. That part hasn't changed at all. And I know that many have run away. I know that many are guarding themselves. Many have cut people off because they no longer serve. I know a lot have. I went through the process of remembering what that was about as well. All beautiful, all absolutely accurate. But the space that I sit in now is one of understanding that we've only moved places on the chessboard. And that everybody that's been connected to my auric field energetically, that have crossed paths with me, is still very energetically present, that we've only just changed places and moved energies and done what was written in our own individual hologram stories for us to do. And then we have lost nothing. I'm in the same heart space that I was before. It's the same draw. It's the same love. It's the same passion for me. Just a very different landscape. Hello, Jeffrey. Okay, see boundaries and borders. See, everybody's in a different space in their story, and I honor and respect and uphold everybody's spaces, because as they are walking through their own story that they have written themselves, they will energetically draw to themselves like stories that will uphold and move them forward in their own stories. So wherever you're at is exactly perfect. I love you too, Jeffrey, very much. The entire original, if I could say, Spirit family has been very big on my heart today. And I think it's because I've just shifted into a space of a deeper, more profound, encompassing place. And realizing and remembering that all the things that we've gone through that felt like loss were movements in the game of the Earth story, but that we are actually doing everything exactly as we should. And we're still working together energetically, because there is no separation, even though in the Earth story, everyone seems to be so scattered. And they may remain scattered in the Earth story. I may never see any of you again. I may never have a conversation with any of you again. But that doesn't change this profound, solid feeling in my heart that we are placed on the chessboard of this story right where we should be, and still very, very much connected. And so for me, this is moving from Earth story and such a deep, profound focus on this tangible human-to-human story, to being one of reaching out and making cosmic, I'll just say cosmic connections, which I've never really been focused on, not until I came to Arizona, did that even become into my auric field. I believed that, anything outside of Earth was not existent before that. That's where I was at. And now not only is that not part of my paradigm, but I've become deeply and profoundly connected with some beings that are not on this Earth in an incarnate form at this point. Some are incarnate, they're just incarnate in other forms, but they're going to actually be tangibly moving into the space that we're in, assisting us with this story. And I've had some contact. And I've been reaching out with openness to put my own heart into that contact as well. And for my story, this is where everything is moving to, is this culmination of all of the Sky Crew coming into play. And I was just about to say, before I saw that the text was working. Okay, that's fine, Jeffrey, no worries. I know it has been a long time. Is that, and so now I lost my train of thought. I was speaking about this connection to other beings that are not focused on the Earth story in this particular timeline that we're on. Oh, yes. I don't know if you remember back a little bit ago, it was a month ago or something, but the Schumann kind of went bananas, and everybody had their say-so about it. It was very interesting, because on TikTok I actually made a post about it, and I literally was the first person to post about it. But I didn't put a picture up, and I didn't say anything in in regards to this, I know what this means kind of thing. I just made a comment about the Schumann, and that it was going to become the topic. It was on Father's Day. It was going to become the topic of the day, and to keep your eye open for it. Well, because of all the work we've done together, and seemingly apart, but it's only seemingly, we have been successful in the elevation of each one of our individual dials. We have helped and assisted our beautiful Mother Earth to dial her frequency up. And we've done this collectively enough that these very non-dense beings that didn't choose to become dense earthlings to have this story are now able to cross into our dimension, because the frequency has elevated itself enough that that's possible for them. They are operating in frequencies that are not as dense as ours, and they literally, by choice of course, but they cannot operate in our density. They've been spiritually and ethereally connected and supporting the entire time. But because of our clarion call to them, and all the things we have been doing, this is just my perspective on it, they're actually able to actually engage us now in a three-dimensional way. And what I mean is they're coming in to our imaginary Earth game that we've all co-created together in a tangible way, because they've been coming in here, and they're already here. And now, since all of us collectively, on all the grid line points all over the earth, have all elevated our consciousness to a degree that we are operating in higher levels of unconditional love, we have put a radio station out that they can tune into and now become an actual tangible part of the story moving forward. Mark my words, you watch. By the year of 2026, there are going to be things that are no longer hidden. People will not be able to explain them away, and people will be having very real, third-dimensional, outer world, not just inner, but on the projection in the outer, engagements and encounters with beings that are not Earth incarnate beings. So it's quite an interesting and beautiful time, and to me, it's a collective time of all of the Earth stories, including, of course, any of you know me, my favorite, the story of Yeshua and Mary, one of the most profound conduits of truth and higher love, and encrypted secret messages to get us to the place that we're in right now. But all the storylines are lining up with what is happening outside of Earth. These beings have been waiting for a long time for the elevation of consciousness and the unconditional love frequency to be recognized and remembered enough for them to be able to actually operate in a tangible way with us. Oh, did you see that? Right across my screen right there? I'm going to have to watch this back and see if it was seen, but this is one of the things that I've been experiencing a lot. Thank you, beloveds, whoever you are. Is more physical contact, more orbs, more skin brushes, more visions of actual beings that look like physically in my proximity, in my peripheral vision, and then when I look that way, they dematerialize. They're not really actually there. I've been seeing a lot of, it's like they're coming through this thick mud and learning how to operate in it. And the last conversation that I had with one of these beautiful beings, right after that Schumann anomaly, they let me know that this is a very dense, still very dense for them, and they have to really work hard on how to manipulate this dense frequency in order to interact with us. But they are learning it, they're remembering it, and they are going to be able to very slowly but very assuredly be interacting with us in a tangible way, a way that cannot be ignored by anyone, even if they're not conscious, even if they're operating in unconscious creation. It will still be evident. There's so many things happening right now, so many wonderful things, and I just wanted to reach out and do this little live. It's been a long time. Like I said in the beginning of it, I went through some of my old videos on both my I Believe channel and on this one, The Way of Mary. That used to be The Way of the Heart. And interestingly enough, another beloved just made a post just a few hours before I made mine, saying that they'd stumbled across something that pulled their heartstrings, and oh, I know it pulled mine too. And it just reminded me that nothing's lost. Nothing has been lost, nothing will be lost. We're just simply moving into different timelines, in and out of these timelines. And for those that are intended to reconnect in timelines to come, we will. And if we don't, we won't. But there is no separation. We're still doing everything together in a choreographed, beautiful dance. And all of us, like you and I, Jeff, Silver Wings, anybody else who's watching this, all of the beloveds that were drawn together on a global level from all over the world into this little story that we're telling. We've energetically been doing this for eons. We were brought into consciousness together at the same energetic time, is what it feels like. It's nothing new, and we're never going to stop doing it. We're just going to find different ways to do it. So I have an unimaginable, I cannot explain the level of peace that I have in my life at this point. But I'm also, much of the time, feeling like I'm standing in a big dry lake bed, like in Death Valley, all by my lonesome. Just me. Of course, now it's me and my cat, because I did get a cat for companionship, and he's sleeping at the moment. Normally he's terrorizing me when I'm doing a live. He loves to interrupt me, but I do feel as if I'm standing in this space and it's just me. And I think it's intended to be that way because literally I am redefining myself. Because consciously creating the outer projection has completely changed. I'm just so accustomed to the unconscious creation that I had done all of my life. All of us have. We were caught up in the programming and the paradigm of this earth story and its hamster wheel that we came here to knock off its axis and turn it back into this motion. Not this, where we just go round and round, same, and never get off. It's this one where we end up going back to 0 point, and then we expand again and go back to 0 point and expand again. So it's a very sometimes very uncomfortable because it's unknown space that I find myself in, but I am so peaceful in it, and I'm not moving anymore. I'm in my most divine feminine energy that I've remembered thus far, and like I said, I've super glued my ass to my throne. I'm not moving. I refuse to do anything in my masculine energy any longer. I am simply sitting in divine feminine energy, which at this point looks like nothing but solitude, which is as it should be for the moment. It feels weird, though, I'll admit it. Yes, I believe it, Miss Silverwings. I have been feeling, and energetically, these emotions that we have, that's how we're connected, though. That's the real truth, is our emotions are the real truth. Our thoughts are not the real truth. Our actions aren't necessarily the real truth. They can be responses to the way that we feel. So now I am practicing being in this new conscious space and remaining conscious in every little moment that I do, even the morsels of food I put in my mouth, the energy that I move through. Like today, well, I'll get it and show you. I haven't done anything creative in ages, and I just felt sort of creative. Hopefully it's dry enough that I can move it without destroying it. It feels like it is. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen that little foam clay that you can buy in the, oh, see, I did move it and one of the leaves fell off. Now I'm going to have to glue it because the clay is already dry. Dadgummit. But anyways, if you've ever seen that foam clay that the kids can use and it just dries, well, I pulled some out that I had bought a long time ago, and I just felt like sculpting, and so I did, and I can see that, yeah, the leaves I didn't press them on soon enough, they got too dry. But I don't know if I can hold it up without it. I don't want it to fall apart. But anyways, I sculpted this rose right here, and I'll try to hold it up so you can see it. It looks beautiful. Actually, what I'll do is I'll lay it on the table and let you see it flat, because that's how it looks best, is how it looks flat. Let me see here. I'll turn the camera around, and then I'll show you here. There we go. Now, go up from this. There we go. And I was pretty impressed. I haven't sculpted anything in ages. I'm still not happy with this center part, but I'm going to use paint and shadowing and probably fix that a little bit. But I just thought I would do something creative, because I haven't done anything creative in ages. And it's just another way that I'm expressing being conscious in this now moment. And I was a little bored because it's my only day off. I have one day off a week, and I was like sitting there. I'd watched a movie. I watched The Never-Ending Story. I haven't seen that in ages, so I thought I'd watch it. And then I was sitting there thinking, okay, so I'm in this moment. I just feel like expressing myself some way, so that's what I did. And I'm just being in that space. And, the crazy thing is, in my little ego mind that serves me well and, plays a part in this human story, we can't be human without it, has been trying to say to me, this sucks. You see what look at what this has brought to you. It's this incredible island sensation and disconnected sensation, and everything in the outer looks that way. In the inner, it's nothing like that. I'm the most conscious and the most connected I've ever been. So I'm just embracing it and accepting it for what it is, because I know that it's transitionary. I know that electronically and energetically and emotionally, my emotions and the things that I'm carrying now will now draw into my auric field the things that are naturally, my energetic signature now. It's just that pause moment before it occurs. And that's where the releasing of the, the emptying out of the things that were there before to make space for the new things to be drawn in. And I'm in that limbo place, and it feels really weird. So that's why I kind of thought I'd reach out. I spent years in solitude, and now I'm moving forward out into being around a lot of new people. That's awesome. And my job brings me in the auric field of new people all day and every day from all over the world. I engage with people that are from all over this planet every day. And because I live in a tourist town and I manage a tourist motel where people stay in my motel and I care for their needs, and they're from all over the world. So I have that coming to my doorstep all the time, but I'm literally not doing anything. I've ceased doing all things. I'm doing the bare minimum for myself. I work just enough to take care of myself, feed myself, care for myself, spoil myself. I love myself greatly. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut this short because I'm going to take myself to dinner. It's my day off, and I usually do take myself out to dinner on my day off. But I'm not doing anything. And this is a very different energy for me because I've always operated in heavily driven masculine energy. And I am no longer doing that. I am sitting in receiver mode. And it's taken me months to adjust to it. And I've fought against it. And I've entered into even just the last little decision I made, which became a challenge, was good. It still helped me to be the fiery phoenix that I am and sitting before you. But I still pushed something instead of waiting. And it was in that last thread. And it was with my cat. And it seems silly, but I didn't wait for that connection to occur. I was drawing the energy of a little fur pet to keep me company because I've been desiring one for some time. And I pushed the circumstance because I just got impatient, didn't want to wait anymore. I felt like I couldn't wait. I had so much expression in me, I needed something to express to. I pushed it, and it turned to be into a big challenge. Now I've worked through that challenge relatively quickly. It only took a couple of months, and realized that, okay, so now I'm really sitting in this space where I'm not doing anything. I am in receiver mode, and everything energetically that's in my heart is going to come to me. I won't need to do anything, and I am never going to do anything again. So, I just felt the desire to reach out. Now, this is me being in that divine feminine energy of hospitality and love and care. And all of you, every single one of you, and now as I'm looking into my own eyes, which I practice every day, knowing self and loving self to the degree that I do, I'm included in this package. Every single one of you that has crossed my auric field in this earth story we're telling. We've never been separate, but in the earth story it seemed all new, and it seems now that we're all scattered. But every single one of you is on this journey with me on some level or another. The nature of this girl's human heart never lets go of that, ever. And so I'm just feeling very connected to that. And this is me just reaching out energetically. And we're at like 38 minutes. That's just about right. I didn't want to make this too long. I don't think there was anything else. I did have confirmation that this was about a nostalgic sense of feeling, and only nostalgic because from the human perspective, it feels like it's things from the past that we've lost, when in reality it's actually very distinctive parts of self that never pass. We just have changed roles in this earth story and moved in and out of each other's stories as we should, like a chess game. The pieces move all over the board. They don't stay in the same place. But it's still the same game, it's still the same players, and the, the perspective is the same, to play the game and to play to win. And the truth is we've already won. So that was what I had in mind today. I just wanted to reach out, and I hadn't done it live on YouTube in so long. I just decided to do that. I've been doing a lot of stuff on TikTok, which I've veered away from quite a bit. Once again, I just don't have any desire to produce anything. I have no compulsion to get here in this space and push forward what it is that I've gleaned from life like I did before. Once again, I was very heavily in my masculine energy, and that's neither good nor bad. Everything was exactly as it was supposed to be. but I'm no longer operating in that unconscious creative level. My story is still the same. That's why I did it on the Way of Mary channel, because it still encompasses the Way of Mary, which is the way of balance and the way of truth and the way of the heavy exchange of power into the divine feminine, away from the patriarchy, in this story that we're telling. It is still very much at the center of my heart. It's just changed how it looks. And that's as it should be. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. Today is the first, this is the new year of the galactic calendar. So I find that kind of fun. And I just wanted to reach out and tell you that I love you. And I love myself. And I love the one that we are. And not only that, I know that we are that love. And we are that love being pushed forward in everything that we do. So that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day. And I don't know if I'll be doing this again anytime soon or what will occur. But we shall see. Have a beautiful day. And if it, big ring, left ear, feminine energy. If it's meant to be, we will connect again.